You want to pick up music?
Ooh, I really like Rex Orange County. That's where the shirt is from.
No way. So, what's your name? What are you building?
Yeah, my name's Manav. I'm building AgentPhone, phone numbers for AI agents. The idea is very simple. AI agents are getting really powerful, but they need access to the right tools. Every human today has a phone number, so why not an AI agent?
That's so cool. And
Yeah.
how was the demo day yesterday?
It was amazing. It was such a cool experience. One, there were like 1,000 investors there, and some really cool people. We got to do a live demo, so we sent a live text message to everyone in the audience, and then they could talk to an AI agent, and we were able to show how easy it is to use us.
That's insane. I saw you were building with your brother, right?
Yeah.
How is it building with your brother?
It's kind of crazy, you know. We never like really did a startup together, and then we'd build like these Lego projects and like fun side hustles. But now I get to build with him. We live together. It's such a crazy experience. I'm glad I get to share with him. Our parents are super proud, so it makes it better.
That's so cool. Was AgentPhone like the first thing you probably built with your brother?
Yeah, it's the first thing that we built. Actually, before we started AgentPhone, we were building another startup that was related to AgentPhone, where we would give everyone a second phone number, and it could manage your calls and texts. But then we were building it on top of these legacy providers, and it was just terrible. We were like, there's no one who's giving AI agents phone numbers. There should be an easy way to do this. And so we decided, why not just build it ourselves?
Right. What made you think that it was like really the right time to build AgentPhone now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in the last 6 to 7 months, like things have changed so much. Like, I feel like AI agents have gotten so powerful. They're doing things that we couldn't have imagined. They're acting autonomously, and I think we're like, if they're acting autonomously, they need to access websites which require a phone number. They need to call people. They need to text people. So that's why we decided to start this.
Right. And do you think phone numbers are going to remain the standard?
Ooh, yeah. You know, I get this very often, but I truly think that phone numbers aren't going anywhere for the next 10 to 20 years at least. Every part of our systems in the world run through phone numbers. When you fill up a form, when you sign up for a website, and that is part of like a human identity. Your phone number is tied to you. And similarly, we believe that our phone numbers are going to become an identity to AI agents. So, you know, as things evolve, we'll obviously evolve with it, but we think phone numbers are here to stick around.
And what was the biggest problem you encountered when building AgentPhone?
Oh.
And probably kind of also related to this idea, like, will like phone number last in the future?
Yeah, you know, there's so many problems. Building in telecom is really, really hard. It actually took us 3 months before we were able to sell like a single phone number, because you need to get approvals from carriers, you need to file a lot of paperwork, and there's just so many things you need to keep in mind. We do a lot of spam prevention. We have guardrails in place so that if an AI agent goes rogue, it doesn't call 911 by mistake. You know, so we try to do a lot of these stuff in the background, so it took us a really long time. And we didn't build in the telecom industry ever, so this was our first time figuring out how to do it ourselves. We had some amazing mentors who supported us, so a lot of hard work, but you know, we're so excited that people are actually using us. And yeah.
How did you came up with the idea if you never like built in telecom before?
Yeah, so that previous startup we were building, we were like, oh, it'd be so cool if I had a second phone number and it would manage my calls and texts for me. And that was basically kind of the idea. So we were like, we started building it, and we were building on top of Twilio, but it was just such a bad experience. We couldn't get any approvals. It was a complicated software, and it wasn't built for AI. So we're like, we're gonna build something that's better. So we started building it out, and we were like, we think we just built something that everyone would want. So we're like, we're gonna start selling this instead, and that's what we did.
Cool. Did you apply to Waymo with just the idea, or you had already the product built?
We had somewhat of the product built in like 50 users. No one was paying us a single dollar. But we're like, we applied 1 month late to YC, and we got a response within 2 days.
No way.
And then we got in within 5 days in total. So it was a very quick turnaround time. It was a crazy experience. We applied, and you know, it changed my life. So yeah.
So you just packed everything and moved to SF?
Yeah, packed everything from New York and moved to SF.
So do you prefer New York or SF? I feel like that's the biggest question like nowadays.
No, that's a
the biggest debate I see on X is like New York or SF.
I think New York is amazing. I absolutely love New York. But I do think SF is the place to be if you're building an AI.
Maybe like, what was the best piece of advice you received?
I think during YC, our YC partner David and Gray are absolutely amazing. And they've been super helpful. I think the biggest piece of advice that we got from them was like, you just need to go speak to your customers, right? We need to figure out what they want, why they want it, and it's been amazing. We speak to our customers every single week. We have a super active Discord channel, and that's helped us figure out what should we build, what shouldn't we build. Yeah.
What was the best advice from customer you received?
Ooh, I think the best piece of advice was, so before an AI agent couldn't sign up on our platform, a human had to be in the loop.
Yeah.
But since AI agents are able to do everything on their own, someone's like, why can't my AI just sign up for itself? And we're like, you're so right. They should be able to. So now an AI agent can come onto our platform, sign up all on its own without a human in the loop, get a phone number for itself, and make a phone call. And I mean, that changed the game for us. We got so many users because of that. Yeah.
And what was the worst piece of advice you ever received?
Yeah, there's a lot. I think a part of being a good founder is knowing the difference between good advice and bad advice, and ignoring the bad advice, because you're going to get a lot of them, especially from investors,
Right,
So you got to just learn to ignore them. So, there a lot of people told us you're not building in the right space, it's not the right time, but time and time again, with the amount of users we have on our platform, we've proved that this is not the case.
And what about like more general life advice?
I think you just have to go and do it. I think some people get so scared about starting a startup or launching it. You just need to keep launching, keep putting yourself out there. I'm not a big social media person, but in the last few months with my startup, I've had to be. I need to tell people about it, and that brings us so many users. And I think you just got to put yourself out there as much as you can.
Do you think social media and distribution are gonna matter like way more than in the past?
Yeah, I mean, X has grown like crazy, and I think seeing that all startups are launching on X, they don't launch through classic news channels anymore. I think social media is the new way to launch a startup. And I think another way to launch a startup is through AI, You need to get it in front of AI as much as you can. Post blogs, talk about it, and the more you talk about it on the internet, the more likely AI is to find you.
Absolutely. So let's do these quick fire round
Awesome.
questions.
Yeah.
Are you an optimist or realist?
Ooh, I'm an optimist. You got to be one with a startup thing.
Fair. AGI in the next 10 years.
100%, yeah.
Is college worth it today?
Maybe. Yeah, it's fun, but it might not be worth it to everyone.
Would you hire yourself 5 years ago?
No.
Are founders born or made?
Made.
Is Silicon Valley the best place to build?
In AI, yes.
Would you rather be the best at product or the best at distribution?
Distribution. That's what really matters with startups.
Work 80 hours for 5 years or 40 hours for 20?
40 hours for 20.
Sleep, underrated or overrated?
Underrated. You need your sleep. That's the only way to keep going.
Do you sleep at the office?
Yes, very often. I've been sleeping very less, so I need to get back on a good health grind.
Passion, underrated or overrated?
Underrated. Passion is the only thing that keeps you going when you're building a startup.
Should founders have hobbies?
Yeah, I think, startup should be your life, but you need to keep going outside of that and motivation. So having a life outside of your startup is also important.
Do your parents understand what your company does?
I think so. We've explained it to them, so yeah.
How long did it took?
A little bit of time, but they like what we're doing. They're happy we're doing this, so yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool that you're doing it with your brother. Like, it probably helps a lot. Like,
yeah, it makes it easier.
100 mil exit tomorrow or 1% chance at a 10 billion company?
1% chance at a 10 billion company.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it for our quick fire question. It was super fun. Maybe do you have like a last piece of advice for people applying to YC?
Yeah, just apply, you might not be ready, you might get a bunch of rejections, but unless you apply, you will never find out.
Did you got it in like the first time you applied?
Second time, so I got rejected once, and everyone gets rejected.
The same idea?
Similar idea, and then we worked on it, we had more proof, and then when we applied again, we got accepted.
What's like a contrarian belief you have?
I think my company is that, we think us thinking that agents need to have phone numbers is part of the belief.
yourself.
Yeah, and I truly do, and I think people are more and more understanding why that needs to happen. I do still have to keep explaining to people why that's the reason, but I think times are changing. So, and that's part of why we're building. That's part of why I post on social media to show what can happen when you use AgentPhone.
Were you like a contrarian person when growing up?
Yeah, I like doing things differently. I like doing, like seeing the other side of stuff. I always play the devil's advocate with everything. So I think that's kind of where that ended up. And so now I'm like, I like seeing the future of what things can be, not in the next year, but in the next 5 to 10 years. And, in the next year, AgentPhone is going to become big, but in the next 5 to 10 years, I think it is going to be the platform that all AI agents communicate over. I think AGI is going to come, and I think a lot of what we believe today about the world is going to change. I also have this really strong belief, which is completely different from what I'm building, but I think medicine is going to change really. I think AI is going to solve a lot of medicine problems that we have today. And I think people will live longer because of AI. And I think people haven't understood that yet. But, in our batch, there's some amazing companies that are building in the medical field. And I'm very bullish on that.
Right. And like more in medicine or longevity, you think?
Both. There's a company in our batch that's trying to solve cancer using AI. And they have a really amazing idea. And that'd be amazing. And someone that's making MRI cheaper, like 50% cheaper. There's so many cool companies in the batch that are building in this space. So I think medicine is going to be one of the highest impact spaces that we see with AI.
I was gonna ask like, what's your favorite company in the batch besides yours?
There are a few companies I really like. I think Keyframe Labs is a really cool company. They're building AI personas, so they're giving AI agents a face. They do deep research and they build their own models. So super, and a great team. They're also brothers, by the way. So
no way.
Yeah.
The brothers reunite.
I'm impressed by our batch. I think people have built some amazing things, and I'm glad to be building alongside them.
That's super cool. Thank you so much for your time.
This is amazing.
Thank you so much for your insightful answers.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Cool.
Yeah, this is awesome. Thank you so much, guys.